guys, Quattro Game back in the building with another update. I know we already started the video, but I just kind of wanted to go back through what we're doing for both FSI cars. In this situation, what you see in front of you is upgraded boost pipe, K04X, stage 2 ECU for the B7, GFB diverter valve for the B7, DTRS fuel pump for the GTI, and motor mounts for the GTI. And we got some other goodies in the box that I want to show you guys. All right, so this right here is an Audi RS4 fuel pressure relief valve. This keeps the fuel pressure within spec for most tunes. So a lot of people don't know that they're supposed to use this and aren't running the horsepower that they need to because they're not running one of these. What I have here is the K04X that's going in the GTI. I know originally when I put the K04 in the GTI that I wanted to go bigger with the turbo, but with the time that I had and with everything that was going on, I decided to go with the K04 now. And then the K04X later. So this is a K04 hybrid, pretty much going to be close to the same size, if not the same size as the GT28. And it's a really, really pretty piece of kit. The Unitronic DV delete plate on it. We're going to be installing this in the next coming videos, so you guys stay tuned for that. And of course, to facilitate for all of that extra horsepower that we're going to be flowing, we need the TTRS fuel pump to get all of that fuel to the engine. And we already have an upgraded high pressure fuel pump and an upgraded camshaft. So it's gonna make it really, really fun and really easy to get the proper fueling. Last but not least, for the GTI, street density motor mounts from What Before Motorsports. I was able to find these on Facebook Marketplace and got both of these. They're really, really tough. They're really, really light. I believe they're billet aluminum. So we're gonna throw those on in an upcoming video as well, so stay tuned. Now, for the B7. The V7 blew a turbo about a month ago. So I've been trying to figure out, do I want to go K04 with it, or do I want to leave it how it is, stock, and just take it to the max of like a stage 2. So what we have here is a stage 2 ECU and a GFB diverter valve. And what we're going to be finishing up today on it is actually installing the turbo. So you guys are going to come along for the ride on that one. All right, so I was doing some test fitting of the turbo before I lock in everything. So I made sure that everything's sandwiched properly. I didn't put in the gaskets or anything like that because we got to do some more turbo prep for this turbo before it goes in. Out she goes. You know anything about a Peerberg, drop in the comments. Now before I get destroyed in the comments, I want you to know that the genuine GFB diverter valve is on the GTI for obvious reasons. This is a knockoff that I was scammed into buying. Probably a little over a year ago. Okay, so now that we have the diverter valve installed, we're actually going to start throwing in gaskets. And once we throw in gaskets, we're going to go ahead and slap the turbo in and start doing the oil return line, coolant line, and oil feed line. And then we should be just about done after we plug everything up to give it its first crank. And oil gasket here, and our turbo gasket here. I also have all the bolts. I wasn't sure if anything was going to be rusted or stuck, so I went ahead and got the banjo bolts on over, the studs with brand new bolts for the turbo, and all of the gaskets for the coolant and oil lines. So let's fit everything that we can on the turbo, fit everything that we can when it's on the car, and we should be done with this pretty quick. So as you can see, we are actually almost done here with the turbo install. I went ahead and put on all the different hoses, coolant lines. Take a look here, you can see the oil line, coolant line down there, the oil drain line. Only thing I'm waiting on is the 17 to lock those up, and then we'll give it its first start. Gotta stay tuned. Should be running shortly. I will say that this was a little bit harder than the uninstall. Uninstall was very quick on this car, but putting everything back together correctly actually takes a little bit of patience because the coolant line on this side of the turbo underneath this oil line is actually very tricky and finicky to get to. and so is the oil drain line. So if you're doing this job, just be careful and, you know, try not to strip anything. Also remember that these bolts are not made to stretch more than once, so you need to replace these every time.